Welcome to Live with the Cigar Advisors, and this is exciting because we're in a brand new studio. Oh yeah, look at this. Bigger, better, faster, more powerful, much more beautiful setting.
Swing a cat meeting.
You could swing a cat and it wouldn't even touch Fred's hair. It's incredible. My name's Tommy Z-Man, and I'm here today to tell you about cigars and the new Avo, almond, I don't know, do you pronounce the L? There is no L in Avo. So, Avo 30th, this is a big cigar, limited edition, highly limited edition. We're going to tell you about that. The boys are smoking this today. We're going to tell you about some deals here with Avo. And that's cool. And we got a cool contest today. You can win. One of you lucky dudes is going to win a Drew Estate hat, a Christoph lighter, and a Zycar bottle opener. How cool is that? And the way to win that today, well, you got to answer the question. And it's a very simple question today. Maduro, yes or no? Now, the reason why we asked that is there are some people that feel that, or newer smokers feel that Maduros are too strong, and they're kind of afraid. And we've written articles like "Don't be afraid of the dark" and stuff like that. But Maduros are actually not strong. They're actually, well, some are, but it depends on the filler and what's inside really that makes it strong. Because generally Maduro leaf is a bit sweeter and more flavorful, and makes cigars a wonderful treat. So we want to know right now, put it on screen, do you smoke Cigaros or no, you don't smoke Maduro? And if you do, even put the name of the Maduro that you like the best. So there we go. And that's cool. And it's all good. So put it on screen. You can win this beautiful prize pack. And we're getting lots of yeses. And, oh, Fred Finley says he's growing tired of Maduro. I have never heard anyone say that before. Has anyone ever heard that? No, I'm not going to like this thing up yet. This is a special treat. Wait, the music should not be starting again. Come on. Get with it, sound guy. So I want to welcome everyone here. Rousing applause. I'm going to introduce you to the players. The players of this.
Players in our little program?
But now we have a brand new, I was going to say orifice, but it's actually a brand new office. Right now, if you kind of pan around, you're not seeing the...
Spin around really fast to see what happens. See how many people throw up.
You're not seeing the Rocky or the John Drew or the other
We're still decorating.
We're working on that. We're going to get that decorated, but there's actually windows
Tommy's
here.
going to Bed Bath. He's
Windows
got
here,
coupons.
which is... Now, the windows here have created a fishbowl effect where everybody that walks in has to stare through the window. If you want to get a shot from us through the other side of the window, I won't keep talking, but... So that's the way that really, goes. Maybe. You have no idea what I was actually saying because I wasn't saying anything. I want to introduce you to the players. All right. Batting first, the third baseman from Chippewa Falls, New Mexico. It's John Pulo.
Chippewa
Falls, New Mexico.
I was going to say, does anything fall? No.
John is the manager. Mucky muck of everything that goes on.
More mucky than muck.
Yes. Are we getting a crappy signal in?
I don't know.
We've been wondering about how
it is what it is. But you know what? Nothing's gone completely off the rails. So for all things considered.
Well, we've been wondering how the signal was going to be in this room.
Yeah, this is our testing procedure.
Yes.
Let it rip.
Yeah,
if something happens, then so be it.
Dude, we're filming a show on a phone, so what do you want?
Fred Finley says, I was 14 miles from you guys today. That almost sounds like a threat.
Wow.
Like I'm watching through your window.
14 miles from shooting our porch lights out. And then, testing out batting second, and playing left field, because that's where he spends most of his life, the professor, Gary Cord.
Hey.
Thank you.
Yes. So, Gary, how do you like the new digs?
I love it.
You digging?
I really like it.
Yeah, well, it's a lot roomier in here. We actually have, you might be hearing the noise, but we have a few smoke eaters in here. Because company rules, we got to keep the door closed now. We used to have the door open. What sounds like we're in an airplane. That's exactly what we said yesterday. So we were doing
Come on,
if you want to do the captain's thing in there, you can do that. And then I have over here, batting third, the shortstop, and filled with a lot of goo in his head, Mr. Fred Luntz. Fred Luntz, everybody.
That's very nice.
And Fred, where are you from originally?
Well, some say the San Andreas Fault. Some have said Gibraltar,
That would be your fault.
but I maintain Madagascar.
I have been to Gibraltar, and let me tell
Have
you,
you?
you are no Gibraltar. No, I actually have.
jabroni.
On my honeymoon, on my wedding, we went to Spain and we went to Gibraltar for the day.
And they've uninvited you.
They have uninvited me. When you pull up to Gibraltar, it's the rock, so it looks exactly like what's in the Prudential logo, because that's what it is. So,
Say
which
if
is very
Detour was still here, he would say Gibraltar. I hardly know her.
interesting. Wow.
Oh.
Where's my bell? Did
That's
somebody
one.
touch my bell?
The sad
Would
sounds.
you like somebody to touch your bill?
Sad
Yes,
sounds of
please.
Detour.
All right. So we've got stuff going on today.
Yes.
Wow. And today
going
we're
on every
smoking. We're smoking the Avo 30th that I think Mr. Pulo is going to tell you about in a second. I'm going to do the Nick Perdomo lighting method, where we kind of singe or lightly sear the outside of the leaf so it kind of melds the filler and the binder and the wrapper all together as one. Then we toast the little bastard, toasty crispy, and then we light it.
And then we smother it to death. I mean, wow. What? Did that just slip out?
So there we go. Wow. Now, so for those of you who are just coming in, Dustin has put my name on there. Dustin, are you just saying hi, or are you fond of the 26th letter of the alphabet?
Do we
Something.
want to ask Nazim if we'll do a short split screen test with us?
Nazim?
Well, he
Sure.
said we need
need
a
a new-
nice African themed clock for this new office.
Wow.
Ooh.
Now, was that clock with an L? Yes.
Yes, it is.
I am glad it is. So, right now, for those of you who came in a little bit late, we've got a cool swag giveaway. Jonathan Drew estate hat, Christoph lighter, and a really cool bottle opener from Zycar on top of my goalie mask that I wore in junior. And if you see the spot here, that was in my first game ever. I played for this team, the New Jersey Rocket. I took a slap shot right above the eyelid, and it split me open like there was no tomorrow. So like a freaking rump roast. So, and I was bleeding like a pig. I remember that. Bleeding all over the ice. We'll get into that later. So the way to win that is you have to tell me, do you like Maduro or not? Now, Fred Finley's getting tired of Maduro. And to prove a point, he was 14 miles away from here, which really, I'm telling
And
you guys.
he was that close to all this Maduro here, and he didn't come by. That's how tired
I
he
still
is.
maintain that sounds like a threat.
He was testing his
really does.
binoculars.
I think
And
that's
then
a little.
he was testing the new scope on his rifle.
That's a little too close. So I want you to.
Scouting nothing but the finest clock towers in the Eastern PA area.
So I think that's the absolute truth. So, to win that, yes, post on screen right now. Do you smoke Maduro? And if you smoke Maduro, what kind of Maduro? And if you don't, or you don't like Maduro, you think it's too strong, or you've never had a Maduro, tell us. That's information that's important to us. Why? We're not going to share them with you. What do you think we are, Mark Zuckerberg? Come on now. And so our very own Ryan, who's been doing our camera, is so into watching Zuckerberg and watching him falter and getting pummeled like he is. But maybe we'll give some stock answers like he does when you ask us our questions later. Like I wasn't aware of that.
I'm sorry, Congresswoman, I don't understand what you're talking about.
So
What is the definition of is?
is
What
Is
do
you is or
mean?
is you ain't?
What do you mean by is?
well.
Is you is.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But we're going to go to Mr. John Pulo. Damon says, it depends on the cigar and my mood. What kind of moods are we talking about, dude? That's really scary shit. That's like mood swings. That's like, wow.
Fancy new ashtray over there, Pula.
Wow. So,
Well,
so
it's my display stand for the Avo
all right, so
Maduro.
John is going to tell us about
So
the
there you go.
Avo Maduro, which has made a comeback. It's the 30th anniversary. If you look at that wrapper, that is like chocolate brown, dark chocolate wrapper. Like Gary, what's the chocolate that you eat? Lin?
Glint or
Wins.
Ghirardelli or
Yeah, I mean that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's for real what it looks like. We've just lit them up. These are sweet. These are awesome. John Tell them about this cigar, and I
All
think
right.
we have some deal stuff going on.
So the Avo Maduro, this is a 30th anniversary edition. You can tell the difference because this one has the 30th band on it. It has just landed. The original blend, the original Avo Maduro, was discontinued in 2015.
Oh, no!
But it is back, but only for a limited time. It's limited quantities. There are 4 different sizes: a 5x50 Robusto, a number 2 Toro, which is a 6x50, a number 3 Churchill, which is 7.5x50, and what they're calling a pyramid. It's a 7x52 Bellicoso or Torpedo, whatever you like to call it. But it's 600 boxes of each size, and that is it.
That's it.
How many sizes, dude?
600 boxes.
Of how many sizes?
4 sizes.
4 sizes.
So it is a very, very limited run, but it is the original Avo Maduro blend, which was Connecticut broadleaf over Dominican binders and Dominican fillers, and that's it. And we actually reviewed the Avo Maduro. You did talked about the Avo Maduro in our Avo guide.
right.
So you want to talk a little bit about some of the flavors that you found in there?
Well, what's different about this Maduro is it's not as sweet as a lot of other Maduros.
No, it's very dry.
And the reason for that is Avo actually didn't like his Maduro that sweet. So Kellner blended it in such a way that it would still be smooth and creamy and have like a nice woody cedar kind of character, but it was not overly sweet. Now I kind of like it a little sweeter myself personally, but this is really well balanced. And the first couple of puffs were kind of sweet, but then it kind of levels out.
Yeah, it kind of
And, it's just real good. It's burning perfectly, and that's what I would expect.
The burn is fantastic, and we have an offer with every box of Avo cigars, with the exception of Avo Signature. But every other line, Avo Classic, Avo Maduro, Avo XO, Avo Heritage, Avo Domain. If you buy a box, you get a Avo Synchro Nicaragua gift set that is comprised, big dollar word, 4 Avo Synchro Nicaragua Toros and a USB speaker, an Avo USB speaker. Like we gave one away actually on the show last week. So you put that whole package together, it is a almost $100 value, $99.50 some cents change. But you buy any box of Avo with the exception of Avo Signature, we throw that Avo Synchro speaker gift set in, nearly $100 value, free, gratis, nothing.
Holy
It's
crap.
yours. Run free and wild.
You shut up!
Don't be like that.
I know, I have to say things like that.
Don't be like that.
Get a job! Yeah, see? That's the kind of stuff we hear all day in here.
Now,
Now?
one thing I will say, if you're looking and jumping on the link that we've already put up there, these are still on pre-order because the whole shipment has not landed yet.
Shitload?
Yes, the whole shitload of shipment.
This was a special.
This was a
box
special advance box
just for us.
that we received so that we could tell you about it, and more will be arriving of that 600 box of each size stash. But you can get on, get your name on the list, so to speak, by going ahead and going to the Avo Maduro page at famous-smoke.com. You can. It says back order, but it's basically pre-order, and we'll be able to hopefully still have enough boxes by the time you get your name in it.
So, John, should we let the kitty out of the bag about what we're going to give away next
Yes,
week?
at least put holes in the bag for it, for Christ's
Yes.
Yes.
Well, okay.
That's horrible.
It's more of the month of Avo.
Yes, next week. We don't. It's in a box over there, sitting on the floor. Well, because we're still unpacking and getting ready here. But Avo has given us this incredible turntable, old style turntable that's sitting in that box. It's really nice. I don't even know if that's just a giveaway or people can buy it or what, but it's
No, I can't buy it.
you can't get it. So
can't buy it.
It's very cool.
Unless you're an actual DJ.
And we're going to be giving that away on the show next week, next Wednesday's show. And I think retail value's got to be what, $12,
$100.
$14,000, $100. I don't know what the retail, but it's a beautiful item and a very, very cool.
And you know what you can do with it is you can take, if you have vinyl collection, take your vinyl records, and you can spin them right into your computer.
That is cool because it's got a USB.
Yeah, it's got a USB and everything. It's pretty cool, and you can put it through your regular stereo system, whatever. And it's a nice little thing. It's pretty cool.
That is very cool. And we know USB stands for you suck bullshit. What? I don't know.
Moving on.
Universal something bus services things. So yes, moving on. So we've got questions. Now get your questions ready. Don't put them up yet, but we want you to have them ready because last week nobody was ready, and that's really not cool. Now the thing I want you, Victor, my buddy Vic says, Z-Man, the black shirt makes you look thin. You know, I don't like when friends of mine make it obvious that they're trying to get into my pants. It's really not. It's not cool, Vic. And you know, you can say other things than trying to compliment my lack of girth. Actually, I've been doing low carb, and I'm doing very well. And that's why I look thin. Get my face, man.
Yeah, he doesn't need the bread crust.
Yeah.
That's low carb. He doesn't need the bread crust. So, you know.
Or the pizza crust.
So
Or the
now,
pizza crust.
our friend Scott Ryan, who gave us a wonderful compliment today on our Facebook page for Cigar Advisor, and said that he hates social media, but he signed up for Facebook just so he could watch our show. And that's, dude, is that ever a 5-bell?
Love that.
5 bells for Scott
nice guy.
Ryan. No relation to Paul Ryan.
Scott, you're off the list now. I like you.
And Zuckerberg, still Scott will not answer your questions. So now we've got the Professor Gary Korb. He's got a subject today that you should be knowing about. And this is, you know, we like to educate you guys a little bit about some things you might not know. And what's really cool is a lot of people will say, I've been smoking cigars 20 years and you guys still tell me stuff I didn't know. And you know where you can find that information? At Cigar Advisor, cigaradvisor.com, which the 4 of us are editors for. You're going to find great articles on stuff, but we also do some really cool YouTube videos. And the YouTube videos are a lot of how-tos and teach stuff. And like I said, people that have been smoking forever still learn from us. And that's cool. And we love hearing that. So Gary now is going to give a little bit about lighter care. And lighter care is very important. Lighters, no matter how expensive they are, you could buy a freaking 2000 DuPont lighter, $2,000 lighter, and it's still, it might stop working before your $5 cheapie you bought at the car wash. I've got a, it's true, right?
What?
I've got a,
What car wash do you go to?
dude, I've got the car wash. It's in Butler, New Jersey, on Route 23, and they have this. Actually, I think it was $10 or $9, but it's a 3 thing lighter, 3 thing, whatever, fancy.
You know, a thing.
Yeah, thing.
Thing with the
And
stuff.
I've had that for like a year and a half, and it works. It won't stop working.
They're in this Toyota
And
thing.
sometimes you buy really great lighters, and they don't work. But Gary's going to tell you about some lighter care that's going to help avoid that from happening, so you don't have to buy your damn lighters at the car wash like I did. And
Jesus.
yeah.
That's the worst Mother's Day ever, wasn't it?
Yeah, I gave that to my wife for Mother's Day, and she basically lit my underwear on fire while I was sleeping, from the back and the front. So that was kind of tough. She actually thought there was a Duraflame log in there, but no, that was just me. Gary, tell them about lighter care.
Alrighty, here we go. Well, you know, if you're a cigar smoker, you better have a lighter.
Oh!
And I have 3 really beautiful lighters here from Zycar. And I have a quad flame here. This is one of the new ones. What I like about these lighters is they all have this really cool fuel window, which turns red when you fill it with fuel, so you always know when you have fuel and when you don't. This is the quad lighter. This is really cool. We featured this last year. It opens like a camera aperture, and down here is where you control the flame. And you get a really nice one. This is a great tabletop lighter. And right here we have one of the new ones. It kind of looks like a car grill. These are really cool. These have the direct injection technology, so it always lights every time. Oh, how about that? Oh, look at that. Well, actually, what happened is this one is very low on fuel, and you can tell by the fuel window. And they really shouldn't have lit at all because I was trying to get it to empty before. So that was just, sometimes, that's another thing you should know. Sometimes you'll empty your lighter and you'll say, you know, I know it's empty, and then you'll click it and it lights. Well, that's just gas that's left in there. So the first thing you want to do is you realize your lighter is out of gas. So you want to get a bleeder tool like this, or just
You got a bleeder!
or a toothpick or whatever, a little screwdriver, and you want to make sure the fuel adjustment is open all the way.
Get a nice shot of that.
Good. And then you're going to take this.
Let's show
All
you what
right.
that looks like.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and then you're going to just push that in there, and if there's still any gas in there, it'll like make a psh sound. And this one's pretty dead. And we can just test it. And sometimes you can like listen, and there's no gas. All right, so first thing you want to do is, what I like to do is I take a can of air, I open it up, and that helps get any carbon deposits and stuff that may have formed on the spark. Okay. Another thing you can do is, if it's really dirty in there, you can take some alcohol and a Q-tip, and you can sort of clean around the inside. But you really have to be careful if you do that, because you don't want to bend or move that spark. And
Quick question for you guys.
Sure.
Are the carbon deposits, like you said, like stuff getting gunked up on there? Is that one of the main reasons why lighters will stop working?
yeah, they will form. Actually, this is a relatively new lighter, so actually this is probably the oldest of the three. And you'll start to see it. They'll start to turn like bronze, like kind of a bronze patina on them. It means they're getting kind of old. This one still has enough fuel in it, so it's fine. But then after you do that, bleed it, clean it with some air there, and then you're going to take your Purifine fuel. And this is really the best stuff on earth. This is the Cigar Purifine. And you're going to turn your lighter this way. I'm turning it so that I can see the fuel window. And I'll just point it toward Ryan this time. And put it in there for a few seconds.
Ow!
And let's see. It's all red. But then you just want to give it another few seconds. And then you're done. Now, what you don't want to do, and I see guys do this a lot, you don't want to light it right away because it's very cold. You want to let it get to room temperature first and make sure the fuel valve is all the way down. I usually turn it maybe a third to a half away, and you can keep it in your hand or put it in your pocket, let it warm up a little bit. And does anyone have any questions out there about lighters while we wait for that?
Wow.
Just
No? Okay.
I'm telling you, I wish my wife was as dirty as that lighter.
Wow.
All right, well, this is a great lighter. Also, what's cool about this one, it has a built-in punch. So that's kind of nice, too. And it's pretty sharp, too, I'll tell you that. So anyway, it should be ready by now. And there you go.
Ta-da.
Look at that. Ta-da. Lights every time. The other thing you should do is, too, when you light a lighter, don't just, like that, You want to just let it open slowly because you want that gas to start to come out so it lights right away. So you got to let a little gas out of there.
Gary said
Tommy's
that's a
very
close
good at
secret
that.
there. Oh, yeah.
He's an expert on
Just let a
expelling
little
gas.
gas out and
So
check.
anyway, that's the way I see it. Back to you, Z-Man.
Oh, very well done, Gary Clark.
Very, very well done. And the lighter care thing is important. If you guys go to our YouTube page for Cigar Advisor, I did a video maybe about a year ago, kind of showing the same stuff Gary just showed. And a lot of guys have either said on there or sent me private messages. I just got one the other day. I had a lighter sitting, an expensive lighter sitting in a drawer for a year, 2 years, that was done. And I did what you guys said, and it works again. So follow what Gary said. If you bleed the lighter correctly and you keep it in that right shape. Where are you shooting there, buddy?
Getting Gary in the shot.
Oh, that is
Jeez.
Gary. That's Gary.
You just broke the fourth wall.
Everybody's a critic. Whoa. Do that stuff that Gary said, and you won't believe it. Your lighters won't crap out on you. And if you do,
He is the fourth wall.
well, the other thing, too, is if you've had lighters that have crapped out and they're sitting in a drawer or a cigar box, try doing everything Gary just said. You won't believe you're going to revive those lighters, and that's very cool.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm giving Gary 5 bells for intense good stuff. So, if you want to win the prize pack today, which is the Drew Estate hat, Christoph lighter, and the really cool Cigar bottle opener, I need you to put on screen, do you like Maduro or not? And if you do, what kind of Maduro? And if you don't, tell us that you don't like Maduro, you don't smoke Maduro. That'll get you qualified. Now, we have a second surprise, double secret surprise gift today to give out to someone. And this is an Avo Cigars golf shirt. Avo's really hooked us up. This is white, beautiful shirt. Here's the deal. It's an extra large. Now I realize 90% of our audience wears frickin' 6XL. All right? I know you fat bastards out there. When I sell shirts for my stuff, I get people now, like I'll do stuff on Cafe Press, and they go up to 4X. 4X is a pretty big shirt. And people go, hey, Z-Man, you got 5X? What about 6X? And I go, oh, crap. What am I going to call? Omar the tent maker? I mean, jeez.
Coleman.
So, yeah, we'll call Coleman. So, this is an XL. So, if you want to win this, and you can wear an extra large, or you want to give it to someone, Fred wants to give it to someone, and I know he does. But when I'm talking about the shirt here, if you want that for yourself or to give to someone, because if you're a 6X, I mean, that's not even going to fit over your knuckles, you friggin' bastard. So, if you want to win that, I want you to put on screen XL. Just put XL. I'm going to pick somebody at random, and they will get that shirt. So right now, put on screen XL, or tell me if you like Maduro's. Mary Ellen's on. She said, dang autocorrect. Well, Scott Ryan is an 8XL. Scott,
Oh my God.
No, he's not an 8XL. Oh my God. Do you have your own bus that you travel in? I mean, your own ramp, your own, what do they call those, macho ramps that you have to use to, yeah. So, all right, we got people putting XL up on screen. I'm liking it. I might even, come on, keep giving me names, because I'm going to write down some names here. Write down, don't look at the names here. Don't look at the names, but I'm giving some names.
See what Nazim is doing then while you're doing that.
There you go. Okay. Are we adding Nazim in from
South Africa? We're going global.
Are we kidding here? We're bad for international?
Well, I'm sending him a request.
Yeah.
See what
Yeah, Garth says, I can get fatter.
You suck.
There it is. So Robert Dalton said, excellent tips on the lighters, Gary. Thank you for that. It will help me the next time I have trouble with one of mine.
All right,
So
yeah.
Robert, your $10 is in the mail.
Pretty simple.
Steve Johnson, been smoking cigars for 30 years, and yes, I learned from you guys. And
Okay.
Steve's $10 is in the mail.
All right.
How about this question? Because you talked about the flame, and I noticed you mentioned the purifying.
Right.
And Mary Ellen said, does the gas you use make that much of a difference?
Yeah, it really does.
So, but
It really does.
why?
It does, because the more refined it is, the cleaner it is, and the better the flame is going to be.
better
The
it passes
more
through the
reliable,
lighter, right?
Right. The more reliable it's going to be. And in fact, Ryan, if you want to follow me over here, Cigar, this is the regular purifying, which is like pretty darn good. But they also make a purifying high performance, and this stuff is even more refined. And if you live at high altitudes, like in Colorado, places like that, sometimes your lighter doesn't work properly because of the altitude. This will get you past that. And also, if you have a lighter, and this, I actually proved this, if you have a lighter that has kind of a weak flame, you're like, why isn't it, I know this flame used to be higher, this stuff will get it right back up there. So it's like Viagra for weak lighters.
Oh!
That's what it is. So, so that's good stuff. So yeah, it really does make a difference. Here, 3D.
Whoa.
All right.
That feels good. That feels good.
What's the matter?
Fingers
All right,
look
so-
lucky there.
More questions. Now remember, you want to win the prize pack? Put on screen. Do you smoke Maduro or not? You don't win my goalie mask. If you want the Avo XL shirt, put the letters XL on screen. And only people who put XL will be chosen from that. And too bad, Victor, you are not getting the XL shirt. Anyone who knows Vic knows why, because he is a meatball parmesan.
You are hurtful.
He is
That's,
hurtful.
that's just hurtful.
Be
That's your
nice
friend.
to your friend.
That's your friend you're talking.
Be
I
nice
know,
to your
I'm
friend.
fat shaming, and it's not right. Because
God.
I know.
Nothing is fair.
so-
Kurt Hendershot wants to know.
He always wants to know.
We have two of them now in our office. What are the thoughts on those smoke eaters? Or actually, it's a rabbit air and air purifier. But he's wanting one for his garage. So you guys have been in this office since Friday.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts on these new rabbit air smoke eaters?
Well, they have.
Goes right to it.
It's actually on an automatic right now, so
It goes right to
it
it.
goes off when it's not detecting anything. But as soon as we start lighting up, within like 30 seconds, they just start clicking on again, and it does. It's not that smoky in here at all. You can see there's 4 guys chugging away in here with the door closed.
Yeah.
It's not like the old office.
Well,
But I think this is a 550, so it's 550 or 50 square feet.
So there's two of them.
We got
yeah,
two.
we have 2 of them because it's 1,000
It's like
feet
actually-
or so in here.
What?
This is like a luxury apartment in Brooklyn.
God, I'm so
So-
glad I didn't get it.
It would probably take care of
that's why I
that pretty
said
well.
it, though.
Yeah.
But it depends on how big your space is.
I'd say it's doing a good job.
Yeah, actually, we actually have a couple of them on 50% off sale right now. One of them is on back order. So, Kurt, I'm going to put the link up if you want to go check out these rabbit ears for yourself. And Fred was saying, which one do we have? The 550?
550.
So 550 square feet. So we pin that up there. And Kurt, you can check it out and go from there. Fred Finley wants to know what's the difference between Avo Syncro Nicaragua and Avo Syncro Nicaragua Fogata. So, in a nutshell, I can tell you, if you go to cigaradvisor.com, Fred, we just put up an Avo buying guide last week that covers the entire lineup of Avo cigars that are currently available, with the exception being the Signature because they are not currently available. Right. So if you want to get in depth and read, I think Tommy, you reviewed both of those cigars, right? The Syncro and the Fogata.
Yeah, and the Fogata really surprised the hell out of me because I had it a year ago and it came out and I wasn't crazy about it. And then I had it. I've smoked 3 since like last week and they were so good I couldn't believe it. And I've been seeing other people saying how much they like it. Very sweet, full-bodied, super sweet. I don't know if it's a Maduro.
Well, the wrapper on the Fogata is an Ecuadorian Habano 2000.
But it's a dark
with Nicaraguan, Dominican, and San Andres in the filler.
The Syncro Nicaragua is Nicaragua, Peru, and Ecuador. So
Yes.
the short answer, Fred Finley, or that Fred, not that Fred, is that mostly the filler wrappers, or the filler tobaccos, Nicaragua, Peru, and Ecuador for the Syncro Nicaragua, and Nicaragua, Dominican, and San Andre from Mexico for the Fogata. And Fogata translates to campfire or bonfire, and that was something that directly calls back to Avo Uvezian. So if you want the backstory to on Avo and how Avo cigars came to be and even became a thing, check out our Avo cigar guide. I'll post a link for that there in just a second. You can check it all out. And you get all the details on the Avo cigar, all the Avo cigars, and you'll enjoy it.
Now, Jeremy is saying it's hard to hear us today. Really? And I'm wondering if maybe that's because of the smoke eaters that are on. So that could be.
There's no audio.
Real? Who's saying that?
So is Ryan's hand over the microphone?
Not that I know of.
Where's his microphone?
In the top left side, right?
There's only one. Is there one person complaining or everyone?
Sound has gone to shite. No audio. His hand is over the microphone.
Must
Sound
be.
is all wacky, boys.
You and your big old hands.
I can hear you guys.
I have big hands.
Are we hearing us now? That's important.
Can you hear us now? Coming loud and clear.
Okay.
Immediate sprint.
It must have been my. I always hold it that way. I guess.
I can hear you guys just fine.
All right. It was probably just.
Apparently, we have some complainers.
Wow.
Maybe that's what it is.
Wow.
But who knows?
Chuck says he hears us.
Put your headphones back
Chuck's
in.
all the way in Cleveland, and he can hear us. Right, Chuck?
There you go.
Victor says he can hear me over. He can't hear us over the munching on the veal parmesan sandwich. Well, Vic, put it down for a bit. And Ed says, "Sound good." So, why are you so mean? Why are you so mean to this guy? Oh, I love Vic. He knows that.
What did he fuck up your order at McDonald's?
Yes, he did.
I don't come to where you work and smack the potatoes out of your mouth.
This goes out to Frederick Blunt, who just dropped an F-bomb.
What the hell?
Did you?
Yes, he did.
I didn't say it on camera. I didn't say anything.
Well,
there was
Gary
no
dropped
video that didn't say
Gary dropped an A-bomb, and no one heard that one, so I'm not even going to go there.
You dare.
Yeah, I know. John, more people want to know stuff from us. I know they do.
Wow.
So Brian McNally says he's a 5X. Oh, come on, Brian. Come on. You're going to get this over your pinky ring. I mean, come on. So if you want to win the shirt, put XL
Why do you people like it?
Put XL on the screen. You want the golf shirt from Model. XL on the screen now.
Cigar world.
If you don't wear an XL, you don't know someone who wants to wear an XL, don't do it. If you're like an 8X, like our friend Ryan says he is, an 8X. My God, what do you like sleep in an airplane hangar? So, and then if you want to win the hat, the lighter, the bottle opener, just put on. Do you like Maduros? Or here it is.
He's nice enough to give you the mask.
Yeah, it was just a quick blip.
No, it's still blipping.
All right.
All right, so Bob wants to know, what's your preferred method of lighting a cigar? Wood matches, torch lighter, or soft flame light? And then actually we'll parlay into Richard Schultz's question. He has several different lighters, but he actually uses a Zippo. He says, "Sorry, I always picked that one first, but it's the one he uses first. He likes it. I have no problem with using a Zippo. You know, I think a lot of times,
They're fine.
you know, as I think people make a bigger deal out of, you know, what the flame source is. You know, you really got to be a super taster, I think, to notice it was. It really hasn't mattered so much for my taste, but
you just have to be a little more patient with a soft flame. That's all. Because if you have a big cigar, it's going to take longer to light it and toast it. You know, if you really want to do it right. So, you know, that's what I think.
So, what's your preferred method? Bob wants to know what's your preferred method of lighting a cigar.
Well, I like a torch lighter. And what I do is sometimes, like, I'm a little nutty this way. I'll take the single flame lighter, and I'll use that, you know, to sort of do the outside, the Perdomo part, and then I'll move to the triple flame, and I'll use that to toast it. And also, when you toast it, don't get so close. Start far away, and then move up. And as soon as you start to see it turn orange,
I can see heat rising off that thing from over here.
Yeah. So you want to toast it slowly. You want to caramelize those tobaccos. So anyway, that's my method. I mean, I don't do that way all the time, but torch is my preferred.
What's your preferred method?
I prefer torch. I don't really have any, like, I'm not against anybody using spills or matches or soft flame. I used to have a Zycar soft flame. They discontinued it and it broke. So I, you know, kind of got some upgrading over the years, but I don't mind using any of them. I just prefer to use a torch because it's a little easier, especially because if you get the matches, it might be a little bit of a stubborn piece that's just hard to get with the match. I'm sure some people might know that, you know, Tommy's a bit of a stubborn piece. So,
you know about that.
I'm dishing it back because you're being mean to your friends.
You want to see my stubborn piece?
No, not at all.
I heard it's kind of prickly.
Victor knows I love him. He's a good buddy. And that's all there is to it. I'm having fun. And after he told me I look thin. Well, yeah, I hate that.
The shirt makes you look
Yeah, the shirt makes you look thin. Because normally you look like a fat piece of shit. But the third shirt is exactly for that. Vic, I want to touch on something that when Gary was just talking about not sticking the laser. And I prefer laser. Definitely do. You know, actually, though, and if I'm at a cigar bar, I do like long wooden matches. I don't know why. There's something like almost like a romantic thing about toasting it and using a long match. It's very classy.
I'll give you that.
Which I gotta, you know, pull over the wool over their eyes.
I think it's classy to use a nice lighter.
But I've got this really cool lighter that I won at some event, and I mean, you could definitely weld a friggin' bridge with this thing. But as Gary was saying about, don't get too close. People like to jam the flame in there. A lot of people, we see you toasting cigars like that, and we do. Not you particularly, but we do see people get right up in there and scorching the hell out of the cigar. And what you're doing is you're shocking the cigar. The cigar comes out of an environment generally, you know, for most people, out of a humidor that's generally around 70-ish degrees and generally around 67, 68, 70% humidity. So you're taking something that's moist. Magic word for the day is moist again. And when you take something that's wet and you take something that's, say, 70 degrees and moist, all right? Now, that could be a lot of things, according to Mr. Puma. But when you take that and you jam like a freaking 150-degree flame or whatever it is right into it, it can make a cigar crack and swell. And so, as Gary said, very good point. Keep it away, warm it up. What that does is there are natural oils inside the tobacco that get kind of warmed up and get you all lubed up and ready to smoke.
Another thing we didn't talk about is
Judge, you are so judgy.
Bill.
There
guy
you
wanted
go.
to.
That's classy.
Class ass.
That's the Cuban classic right there.
Yeah. But as you notice, the flame sometimes gets a little out of control, and you may set the house on fire. So you have to be very careful with that.
Right.
Now,
but it smells great.
Scott Ryan just said that flame is actually 450 degrees.
That's for the soft flame.
Soft flame?
The jet flames will be over
Oh my God, 35,000.
Yeah,
over 1,000.
So
for a butane torch, and then you add 3 jets, It's hot.
So you're talking about 1,000 degrees from a butane. Now, I got to share this story. I told you guys this. When I first kind of got into cigars, and it's probably in the mid-90s, around that, somebody gave me my first jet fuel lighter, so laser lighter, and I had never used one before. So it's outside, bright sunlight, I'm on my back patio, and I click, I don't see a flame. Now here you can see a flame. I couldn't see it. I heard the noise, but I couldn't see it. So what did I do? I tested it on my arm. You want to see my skin just bubble up, like right out of freaking Dawn of the Dead. It went, and I went, yeah! I mean, freaking, I had to get skin grafts, and it peeled for days, and it was horrible.
He had his ass on his arm for months.
So yeah. So yes. So yeah, I did that because I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. So all right. Tom Neely says it seems echoey. What's going on?
It is a large room.
And we're in a larger room. We did switch into a new
Gary's staying
office
in yodeling.
studio here. We have a couple air kind of purifier things on, and we have to because we have to keep the doors shut. So that might be the reason. We'll work on that. John, we got anybody else got anything for us?
Yeah, I'm actually reposting a link to the Avo Maduro that we're smoking today because that special is going on through the end of the month for the Avo Synchro Nicaragua gift set, the 4 Toros and the Avo USB speaker, free with your box purchase of any Avo cigars with the exception of Avo Signature. But check that out and pin up to the top. So, Josh wants to know any thoughts on the Fuego USB cigar lighter and will Famous carry it? I'm not familiar with that brand, Josh. I don't know if Famous is going to carry it, but I know Fred and Gary both had experiences with another brand of USB cigar. It's more of a cigarette lighter.
Yeah, those are the
It's like
smaller
a
ones.
cigarette lighter from your car. You know,
Oh yeah.
It was
Heat up coil.
it didn't work for me. I'm sorry to say, because I don't like to give bad reviews, But this thing just it never really got hot enough, right?
Well,
They're tough for larger
It
ranges.
only goes. It heats up for like so many seconds, and then
Yeah.
it cools down automatically. So if you don't get it lit in that amount of time, and then I think we also kind of had a bad batch because ours didn't.
we did.
Ours didn't recharge.
It didn't recharge.
They wouldn't recharge after you used them once. So we got one good, couple of lights off of it, and then they died forever. So
It felt bad for the guy.
yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
Can I make a public service announcement here? And we would ask you to please share the show. Take this moment right now to share our show to your favorite Facebook buddies, to your cigar smoking pallies, to the cigar smoking groups you belong to, like Cats. Cats is a great group, and we send our love out. And you guys are friends with Cats. Storm Bowen, who runs Cats, who is a freaking monster friend of ours. Great guy, went through some surgery. He's going through some recovery. I was texting with him the other day. He's got a little road to recovery. He's the guy that runs Cats Fest and the whole Cigars for Warriors. So I want everybody right now to put on screen, send love to Storm. And if he's not watching, that'll get back to him. So love for Storm. He is one of the best guys we'll ever meet. He served our country gallantly, and I can't say enough good stuff about it. So share the show. Share the freaking show and tell Storm you love him. You may not know Storm, but take our word for it. The guy is the real deal.
Salt of the earth.
The real deal. And he thinks I'm funny. So that really, I know. So that works out well
Thank
for
you,
me.
fan.
Scott Ryan says, I wish I could share the show, but much like Tommy, I have no friends.
Oh!
Now, see, he's funnier than Chase.
Scott Ryan has a very good question.
Funnier than Chase.
You know that?
What's his question, Gary?
Scott Ryan
Yeah.
wants to know, how much does a band design play into your selection? And he says, personally, when I'm sitting with a cigar for an hour minimum, I want to be looking at something that I enjoy. So I guess he likes to admire the band. When he now
I thought he meant like Iron Maiden or the Scorpions.
I'm kind of a sucker for like really nice bands.
I am too.
But like anything else, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
There's some really great band designs and some really great cigars, but you really have to taste the cigar, to know.
It's more of a bonus for me.
But I do. My eye does go to these really nice looking bands, and I can't.
I
sometimes
think
I'll buy it.
if the band looks nice and it's on top of a nice leaf,
Yeah.
it makes you say, It makes, it's like anything else. It's marketing.
Yeah.
You want to pick it out of the box and give it a try.
Right.
And there are some very expensive, cigars that have great bands that are, I think, have been average cigars. And then there are some cigars, right, that don't. We even did an article on it a while back.
Yeah.
I don't know if the
Good
Tory did
cigars
that or
with
what.
the ugly bands.
Yeah, ugly bands, but good. Thick,
Yeah,
good
or
cigars.
not even ugly band, but just plain. And
Yeah.
the cigars are
Very
so damn good.
nondescript thing.
So.
Yeah. Well, I think it's an added bit of like attention to detail that kind of will sort of offset some cigars from others. Like, see, like this has a really nice looking, 30th extra band. So it's double banded, and then it has the Avo, which is a really nice logo. I've always enjoyed the logo and different color plays. They're all different. They always vary based on the blend and the cigar. So I think it's a nice little attention to detail. It's got the holographic gold. So it's just a little added bonus. It's a little bit more attention to detail they put into it, which just shows how much they value the customers that, they're going to come in, they're going to notice these things. So it's not 100%,
Hey,
but I like
It's
it.
like anything else. If you want people to notice you, wouldn't you dress nice if you were going, say, on an
Exactly.
interview or
Oh,
to
yeah.
a nice dinner? Dress nice suit, crisp tie, shoes, whatever. It's the same mentality, I think.
There's something like you're saying with Avo too, that it's always the same logo, but they change the colors.
Change the color scheme, yeah.
Because the one thing with me is, I feel like
Completely.
Great point. The drum.
Davidoff.
What's that?
Davidoff.
Pretty
It's
Pretty
all-
a
it's a
white
little
thing with a
classy
little.
font.
Davidoff is plain, but you can spot it from pretty far away.
Well, 'cause
That's
the oval
the
shape.
thing.
I
Yeah.
like bands like this that have that sort of neoclassical
I like
Cuban
this.
style. There's a Porlo and Yanga. And so I'm kind of a sucker for that stuff.
I
But
love this Neanderthal because if you get underneath this band, I really love the little attention to detail. This is
If
the
you can get them
Neanderthal. If I can get this apart here.
I couldn't get mine
Here.
to work yesterday.
And then you see the Pangea, or not Pangea, what is that? Like,
The evolution of man.
yeah, and then there's the evolution of man, and it's very kind of lightly inlaid in there. So there's like a lot of attention to detail to that
It's a nice
underneath
Easter egg.
this, which most people don't even notice.
Yeah.
So I kind of like those nice little touch. You know what I mean? Just kind of a little appreciation to the customer.
So Skip, send Fred a box of the Craft 18 because
Oh, yes, please.
he just spotted your Easter egg.
Tom Neely says, I like the old room, go back.
Yeah.
Sorry,
If you
Tom.
saw what the walls looked like after we took the pictures down.
Oh
No,
my
you
God.
wouldn't.
We can write our names and
The
match
walls
eraser.
and the carpets. When we moved
Yeah.
out of there, oh my God.
There's a hazmat team going in there to finish
Yeah,
that up.
it looks like a refugee camp moved out. Holy crap! Jerry
that's
Jones
good
said,
time.
"Almost missed you." Ah,
Almost.
Gotcha.
almost.
So Kong is
Great.
it's the greatest question ever asked.
Sell on, sell off.
Do you take the wrapper off of your lighters? I think you meant cigars for
Yeah.
storing. Now, I read something
Sell it,
interesting.
right.
I read something interesting on Facebook
Okay.
yesterday.
Tell me, John.
Pete Johnson from Tatuaje.
Yeah.
And we answer the question every week, or we at least get the question every week. Sell on or sell off, right?
Yeah.
So Pete wrote, a good friend and retailer once said, as a consumer, I want every cigar without cellophane. But as a retailer, I want every cigar with cellophane.
It's very,
So think about that for a
very
second.
smart. Yeah.
And why you would want that. And
Oh,
so why do you think I found that interesting?
I don't know.
Yeah, no idea.
Well, I know why a retailer would want cello on
Every retailer will want cello
Yes.
because
because people go rummaging through the boxes and the cigars get damaged, and also they'll stick a cigar up their schnoz or put one in their mouth to see how it feels. Or I've seen. I mean, how many guys have you seen take a cigar like this and just?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you just snotted that whole friggin' stick, and now you put it back in the box.
But as a consumer, I would like cello off
'Cause
because
it-
I want to be able to see the leaf. You know, I love these guys.
Feel the,
I love when people go into a cigar shop and they take something and it's in the cello and it's
Right.
sealed. Oh yeah, that smells great. Oh, that's so
Oh,
nice.
that's
nice
all that
Oh.
you did.
You're not smelling it.
I had a Ziploc the other day at another office far from here that I was in,
Right.
and I know that some of the guys like cigars in there, so I had a Ziploc. I opened it up, one of the long beds, and It was cigars all in the cellar. And the guy, I go, take one for you. He goes, really? And he sticks his nose down into the bag. He goes, ah. And I go, man, you must love the smell of plastic. I mean, you can't smell it.
Yeah, right. But as a consumer, and I walk into a shop, if they are, and sometimes that's presentation is called cabinet style.
Right.
You can pick it up. You can inspect the leaf really closely because now you can see there's a little bit of tooth on this Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. You might not see that underneath the cello. Give it a little bit of a squeeze. So these are pretty, these are very fresh because they just got shipped up and they got, a nice bit of give to them, maybe a little bit more, so they can stand to use a day or two in the humidor to rest.
You know what, John?
We're out on
Take
the
that
table to
further.
rest.
What you're saying. I love absolutely. I'm going to ask the four everybody in here. There's three others than me. I make the fourth. I forgot I'm batting cleanup. I forget to mention I'm the catcher, I'm not the pitcher. So.
I always saw you as a catcher, Tom.
Yeah.
And the bottom.
We all
Naked cigars, and that means a cigar without a band on it. And I love the look. Even like a lot of Cuban cigars, some that come from a farm, they call them farm made or whatever. I love the look of cigars that don't have a band on it if it's got a beautiful wrapper. John, what do you think?
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
Gary, how about you?
Well, no, I mean, like about a certain amount of the cigars in my humidor got no cello on it, but a lot of them do. So it's just a matter of, to me, it's like either when I put it in the box, what mood I was in at the time, or if I have time, I'll cut off the tail of the cello, so it'll still protect the cigar, but allows more air to get in there.
So
but I do like it without. They do look much better, of course.
And they
without
call
the
that a naked cigar. So, John, I was asking,
Yes.
do you like the look of a naked cigar without the band on it? I love that.
in the cello.
Yeah, without the band on it.
Band on it.
No, you thought I was the cello. No, the band. No band, just a plain naked.
What if it's got like the little ribbon at the foot though?
Not
the-
saying
That's not necessarily.
That's not a naked cigar.
No, but it's
All right, I take
I
back
feel like
my
a cigar on at that point.
No, because at least the tough thing is you know what's a squirrel, what's Connecticut, but then you start looking and it might be hard to tell.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember if that was a whatever. I don't know if that was something.
No, I don't
you can't
like the look.
necessarily pick them out. So. Well, actually, I want to go back to something you were saying before, especially about guys jamming over their nose and stuff, because George wants to ask, when picking a cigar, what are some no-no signs?
Great question. Great question. I think if each of us want to give an answer to that, when picking out a cigar, when you say what are some of the no-nos that you shouldn't do when picking out a cigar, geez.
Why would you no-no?
I just say basically never stick the cigar up, the blank cigar, and touch it up to your nose. Or some guys peel the cello back and run the cigar under their nose, and it's like, I've seen guys in shops and walk-in humidors put it in their mouth to see how it feels, and I'm like, you gotta be.
Oh,
freaking
God, that's gross. Who
Dude,
does that?
I'm not going to give out names, but the guy is died 3 years ago of typhoid. So, John, what do you think is a no-no if you're?
Well,
picking out a cigar?
the interesting thing is people, like I said before, people go, oh, that's so good. Oh, that's it. No, if you're not sure, ask the person behind the counter. Like right now, next door, Allie is behind the counter, Nikki is behind the counter, Sean is behind the counter, Tyler's behind the counter. And I can
Tyler, you can barely see.
You can't miss Tyler. I mean, unless you turn sideways.
That's what I mean.
Okay. But between the four of them, if you were to walk in and ask pretty much what any cigar in that shop is like, or how they'd be able to describe it to you, they're well trained, so they'd be able to tell you.
Sure.
cigar
that's
shops
why-
need sneeze guards.
Cigar shops like a salad bar.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Gary, what's a no-no for someone?
Well, I would say, most of them are covered, but I'd say don't go digging through the box. Don't. Like
if
maybe
you
don't
are,
like
be
the way,
gentle.
yeah, don't if you don't like the way the wrapper looks, sometimes I'll do this, I don't like the way that wrapper is, so I'll go down to the next row, but don't just stick your hand there and pull them up, apart and everything, don't manhandle them, so to speak. Right. But I don't think many people.
Fred, a no-no.
I would say after you buy the cigar, don't put it in your mouth and then borrow or use the shop's cutter or somebody else's cutter and then get your slobber all over the cutter. because that's just disgusting, and that is how you get hepatitis.
Uh-oh. And typhoid.
And actually, somebody else had one. James Nemeth is walking into a cigar and walking into a humidor with a lit cigar.
Oh.
He's seen people do it. I think it's no good. I agree.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
we have
agree,
we have 2 standing ashtrays on each side of the humidor. The walk-in
Oh,
humidor
yeah.
here at Famous. I mean, yeah, you could, but I mean, really, do you want the smell of
No.
stale smoke that somebody else was having an hour ago, lingering around? I mean, the air is humidified and refreshed. You know, we try and keep a quality and pristine environment for the sake and the well-being and the sake of the cigars. So let's not mess it up by going ahead and having somebody,
That's
smoking away, puffing while they're, browsing for a half an hour and trying to decide between the Alec Bradleys there at Turtle.
I agree.
So, yeah, that's a good shop. We'll go ahead and leave a place for you to put your cigar down. It'll be there when you come back.
Yeah, no one's
you
gonna touch it.
finish going through the walkthrough, come back out, use the house lighter to light it back up, or your own if you have it in your pocket, and then you can go back into the lounge and you're
John, interesting. Wilfred says that I don't know who makes this. Furio
good.
Electo has a Wolf Red as a band, and then the CAO, the Amazon Basin, has actual twined cigar leaf
Yeah.
that they twine it thin like thread.
And the leaf by Oscar, the band itself, the printed band is made out of stems, like recycled cigar stems.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
So,
I'm going to Google that for you.
Stuart Cohn says, good afternoon. Sto, nice of you to join us. I'm glad you're not a fireman. We'd all be freaking in trouble. I'm telling you.
Thanks for coming.
So a couple more questions, and we're going to tell you about a couple quick Cigar Advisor articles that you need to read. Then we're going to give away some goodies. We're giving away this beautiful Avo XL shirt. If you put XL on the screen, you got a shot at winning that. And then you got the prize pack for the hat, the lighter, the bottle opener from Zycar. If you put on screen whether you like Maduros or not. So there you go. John, what else we got?
So last question is from Joshua Rushing, Gary Korb specifically. What do you think about these cigars that have more bands than an effing Christmas cake?
Well, it's like a marketing tool, by having an
Yeah.
extra band. I wrote about this. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me that much, but I don't like it when the bands are so long that they cover more than half the cigar. So.
Well,
That's
it's
my
like the
opinion.
Psycho 7 has a band that's like the wraps on, and they're very good cigars. I know. You're right. I mean, some of these new cigars got more bands than Ozfest. I'm telling you. It's like, wow, that was a good joke, and it just went over everybody's freaking head.
I got it.
Damn
It was okay.
John, give us
I
another.
wasn't
Give one
paying
more
attention.
quick question. Come on. One more.
It was okay. No, really, that's it.
No.
There's more people who want that shirt. So
You gotta
XL,
sign up.
XL, XL.
All right. Well, Tom Neely said he wants us in the old room. So
Oh, sorry.
we left
You can
that.
have it.
We left that room trashed like a college dorm, didn't we?
You should see it now. You'd never recognize it.
I know they probably.
It's repainted.
All right.
The furniture.
Whole room.
They actually have to get a steamer in there and clean the rugs.
Change
I
the
got
oil?
Shampoo.
Shampoo.
I got the shampoo.
So we're almost ending the show, and people are coming in now. Hey, all right, guys, where are you guys? Don't be first responders, because that's going to be a problem with you guys.
Central Time.
We're going to talk about a couple of Cigar Advisor articles, and we have one from Gary, the Weekend Cigar.
Yeah.
Is one from Eric Espinosa that has been a favorite of mine for so long it's stupid. Gary, what did you write about your Weekend Cigar?
Well, this 601, it used to be made many years ago, was made at the Pepin factory. And it is now being made at the A.J. Fernandez factory for Eric Espinosa. And I don't really, sometimes when they move a cigar blend to another factory, it's close, but it's never really lives up to the original. But I got to tell you, AJ really nailed it on this one. And it's a very full-flavored cigar,
And it's always
without
been.
being overpowering, and it's got some nice sweetness from the Oscuro wrapper, and it's just a really great smoke. And I think you guys will really enjoy, especially if you like the full-body stuff. If you love Nicaraguan tobacco, it's just a really damn good smoke.
So don't tell him too much because you need to read the article.
That's
Go to cigaradvisor.com and he'll tell you about the 601 Green, which is, geez, that has been a favorite
That
of
was
mine.
always my favorite.
Dude, been a favorite of mine for like 15 years
Yeah,
plus.
I like the blue one too, but this one really is dead on.
Yes,
You know,
601 Blue, and then we've got the 601 Steel,
Yeah,
which is a beautiful, made for us. by Mr. Eric Espinosa. That's a full body.
6-0 and kryptonite.
John, that's a full body beast. Ah,
That feels good. And I've almost died from autoerotic asphyxiation, so I know from good.
oh, there you
How
go.
was that?
Now we're gonna go to Fred Luntz. and
Moving
Fred
on real
has
quick
top
here.
new
Moving
cigars. Top new cigars for the month of April.
Yes. If they look familiar to some of you via your inboxes, this is our top new cigars report. It's the hottest new stuff that we have in stock. So if you want to check out the article, get a close up on the article here. I know nobody wants to see my face. So we have new stock coming in. We have the Macanudo Inspirato Red, if you guys haven't tried that one yet. It has Ometepe leaf. It's all aged stuff. It's really good. We have the Romeo San Andres by Romeo y Julieta. It's a stupidly good cigar. Laura ADN.
Stupidly
They share
good.
their DNA with us, which is kind of creepy. The Debonair, if you guys have not tried a Debonair yet, we had this in the show 2 weeks ago.
Don't show too much.
Very
You
good
gotta
stuff.
read it.
And the last one I will leave a mystery, but I will say is similar to what we had on the show today. So, check out the last one for yourselves and let us know what you think.
All right, we're going to have some winners here on the show. I'm going to do something that I've only done a couple of times on the show. I get serious. I'm very serious about this. I believe in energy, and that when you send out good energy, it goes out. And I think some people that really need some good energy, and if you could just have it in your thoughts. You know, we always see on Facebook, thoughts and prayers. But I'm really serious about sending good thoughts. If you guys heard about junior hockey team out of Western Canada, the Humboldt Broncos, a bunch of 16 to 20-year-old kids got hit broadsided by a tractor trailer this past weekend. 15 people died, a bunch of young men who had a whole life ahead of them. A couple coaches died, a couple other people died. I've played very high-level hockey through juniors. My son has played very high-level hockey through college. He's college playing. And I and my son have taken those buses and long bus trips. And, you know, the last thing in the world you ever think is when you put your kid on a bus, especially like even a school bus or whatever, that's the last time you'll ever see him well. It was very horrific. And I know that they've put a GoFundMe page up if you look up the Humboldt Broncos. So if you want to give to that, it'll help the families. It'll help offset costs. It'll whatever. You know, even if you just keep them in your thoughts. Like I said, they don't get serious too often. We like to have fun. That absolutely broke my heart. I mean, I couldn't stop thinking about it for days. I still can't stop thinking about it. So I won't get too farther into it. Put those wonderful boys and those people, keep them in your head and your heart. And if you talk to God, if you believe in God, say something to them about it. And that would be nice. So that's done for me being serious. So I'm going to give some cool stuff away. I'm first going to give the Avo shirt away. And I think it's to a well-deserving. I'm not going to do the countdown on this one. I'm just going to give this shirt away. And this goes to George Baker, everybody. Yay.
Yay.
George, you're watching. He wins the Avo shirt. I hope you're not an 8XL like our friend Scott Ryan. And then we're going to have somebody's going to win the prize pack, right? Right? The prize pack. So here we go. Drum roll. The winner is Edward Delancey, who loves Maduros. So there you go. Edward Delancey winning. Oh, jeez, the audience is going crazy. The room is so big we get to put an audience in here. That's really cool. So that's it for today's show. From the new gigs that nobody seems to like, and I don't care. We have to sit here. We'll try to, maybe we'll put the smoke eaters down in volume a little bit next week. We'll give that a try. And that's the end of our show. I am going to say, John, give them real quick the Avo deal.
All right, so you buy any box of Avo, and you can see all of the different current production Avos in our Avo cigar guide at cigaradvisor.com. So pick among them. You buy a box, you get a 4 Avo Synchro Nicaragua Toro gift pack and an Avo USB speaker. So on any box of Avo cigars, with the exception of the Avo Signature, that is worth nearly $100, but that comes to you free with your box purchase of Avo cigars.
And
Yes.
you know what you can do is you can put that speaker on the roof of your car and drive around town smoking your cigar and playing your music.
Oh, yeah.
That's
It's one way to do it.
that's a life hack, baby.
Yeah.
Getting
Right
a little
there.
bit of Gary's teenage years right now.
Okay.
So that's it.
So there it is.
You know, you can see our show on Wednesdays next week. We're going to give away the Avo gave us a turntable, which is so freaking cool. And as Gary was saying, USB port, so you can record and go right to your computer with if you have the old discs. I want to say we've got so long from Mr. John Pulo over there, who's a very important person here. Very important man.
Bye. Don't forget
And-
Avo Maduro. Pre-order now.
And we've got Mr. Gary Corbs, a professor of professorology.
See you next week.
Whoa, that was a bad rip. Do another one, Gary.
There we go.
And then we have Mr. Fred Lunt that has more goo in his hair than a 1970s porn flick. Mr. Fred
That
Lunt.
was a little uncalled for. I'm not sure what to say now. Have a good evening.
So uncalled for. My name's Tommy G, man, but I want you to remember that. That's it. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for being with us.